look, if we end up on the side of the road, you know, Ron's strong. Look at these muscles. Look at these muscles. He can push. We'll put it in neutral. He'll push it. I mean, we might get like a mile. You know, you can push a car for a mile uphill. No big deal. Hey everybody, Zach Hurst with EV Resource, and today we are doing a highway 70-mile-an-hour range test with the 2022 Hyundai Ioniq 5 SE all-wheel drive. Now the EPA rated range for this is 256 miles. We'll see how it does at 70 miles an hour. Honestly, my estimate is about 230 to 240 miles. Hey everybody, I want to interrupt real quick before we continue with the video. Something has been brought to my attention, actually by Jeff with the Technically Jeff YouTube channel. The wheels that are on this Ioniq 5 are not the stock wheels and tires, but in fact, they are from the Kia EV6. And after some digging, we realized that the previous owner, who is Shannon from the EV and Chill YouTube channel, swapped the wheels from her EV6 that she bought onto the Ioniq 5 before selling the Ioniq 5. So that may have affected the range a little bit, but honestly, looking at the wheels side by side, they aren't too different. So that's why I decided to go ahead and publish this video anyway. It's a beautiful day. I think it's gonna be mid-70s, so honestly, temperature isn't gonna be a factor. It's not too cold, it's not too hot. We're close to the interstate. We're gonna hop on. We've got a preset loop, so we're gonna go down and back, and we're gonna do that loop probably twice. Towards the end, we might make some modifications to the route depending on the mileage at that point. But at every stage of the way, we're gonna get a really good idea of exactly how far we've gone, what the battery percentage is, and be able to just do some simple math and calculate roughly where we're going to end up. So I hope you enjoy this one. Before we get started, I wanna reintroduce my good friend Ron. This is his car, so everybody write thank you, Ron, in the comments for letting us do this. Yeah. As I said, I expect we'll get 230, 240-ish in terms of range. You drive this car all the time. Yep. Right now it says 315 miles, which is not gonna happen. Yeah. What would your guess be? 70 mile an hour, pretty much all the way. I think like the actual EPA, the actual written EPA specs of like 256. Okay. I think we're gonna get 256. So you're a little more optimistic than I am. Yeah, to 230, 240. But we'll see. All right, maybe it's the Price is Right. Whoever's closest without going over, right? Right. So let me just get this. Yeah. We are starting off 0 miles. I love how this has the average miles per kilowatt hour for this specific trip as well. That will really help towards the end. Getting us some accurate measurements. 72 degrees outside, so this is a perfect day for this. So it is 10 a.m. or actually 9 a.m. You need to change your clock. It is 9 a.m. We're gonna go ahead and get started. The first part of the trip obviously is just getting to the highway. I'm gonna be as slow and as smooth as possible because I don't want to use energy for this part of the trip. Yeah, so while Zach is driving, since I'm so experienced with this car, this is the actual infotainment, and I actually went from home screen to, well, we start off here. It's pretty cool. Actually, when you drive past big, large skyscrapers, they actually showed up in 3D on this map. No way, that's cool. Yeah. Anyway, let's get to the point of this part of the conversation, right? We go up here to the three bars, and we go energy information. And look at this, we have that DC charge, AC charge, and everything too. But actually, let's go to usage, electricity use. And I have the most recent. This is November 2022. I have the most recent update. That's why it looks a little bit different from what you see in other, you know, brand new 2022 Hyundai Ioniq infotainment screens. When it comes to this screen, the energy information. So drivetrain right now is pulling at, I know we're about 70 now already. Yeah. At 14 kilowatts, taking 97% of what the current load right now. Electronics would be like the screens and radio and fan and everything. It's only pulling 6% at
There you go, it's dropping because it was slowing down.
Yeah, I'm taking an exit, so gotta slow down for this. The road we're gonna get on is Interstate 295 that goes pretty much like, almost like a beltway around Richmond, maybe like a half beltway. And it's 4 lanes, and this is a Sunday morning, so we shouldn't have any issue maintaining 70 mile an hour at all because of traffic, or even sometimes when I've seen accidents on 295, there's enough lanes that people can get through the mess easily. So I'm gonna set the cruise control to 70 miles an hour, and then what we're gonna do is pull up the phone to verify that speed with GPS. How do I set this?
I got you.
Cruise control.
Yeah, you said. Actually, let's do it together.
Okay, there we go.
You got
That's
it.
That. Perfect.
And then you see that spacing, the bars in front of the car?
So that's if somebody's ahead of us?
Yeah, we can set the spacing to car length vehicles. Sometimes I do 2 or 3 is the usual. 2 or 3 is the usual that I do.
Cool.
So.
Well, if I get up behind somebody that close, I'm gonna wanna get...
What, 3 bars?
Well, no, I'm gonna want to get in a different lane.
Oh, yeah.
Because the aerodynamics of a vehicle in front of us will affect
this test.
the test. I don't want to like park behind somebody for the whole test.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the speed limit for most of this road is 70 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So I don't really expect we're going to run into many people that would be going slower.
Yeah, especially on a Sunday morning.
Yeah. I mean, we're not going to really have many like commercial traffic of semi trucks or anything like that. So this should be fine.
Yeah, I guess I'm the resident expert right now on the EV resource when it comes to this Ioniq 5. So, boy, after 20,000 miles and let's see, about July, August, September, October, November-ish. So about 5 months of experience now. I know this car really well.
Has it been that long, really?
Yeah,
already?
I know, right?
Like, honestly, it feels like it was yesterday when you called me because you found this.
Yeah, at a used car dealership.
Which was just...
Yeah.
That whole story is kind of bizarre to begin with. I mean, we haven't shared that yet in any of the other videos, the performance tests that we did with this.
Yeah.
So while we're here, I mean, we've got time.
Yeah.
Tell your story of how you found this car and a little bit of backstory of why this really is the perfect car for you.
So yeah, I mean, situation ended up where my car couldn't be used ever again. So I had to get a car right then and there. I was carless for about 3 days, and living in the city and having to do stuff around for my job and everything, I was like itching for a car. Being around Zach and working on EV Fall Fest #1, which by the way I got hooked on EVs just being the videographer and media coordinator for that event. I'm like, I want something with a battery,
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, let's check out this car lots thing. I didn't understand the concept of car lots until I got to the dealership.
Right.
I just thought it was a used car lot.
Yeah, because it's consignment for used cars, which is kind of a neat business model.
Yeah.
And I don't know of any other company that does that.
Yep. And I drive onto that it's a tiny lot. That lot is small. And then the second stall is this thing.
Beautiful.
And I'm like, what is this? I just couldn't believe it. Like, I was rubbing my eyes. I almost crashed my car pulling into the dealership, which at the time I was renting because I didn't have a car.
Right.
I was renting the Polestar 2.
Yes.
Yeah, the white Polestar 2. So I was like, I thought it would fly off the shelf, So I got running there. It's like, is it available? I was like, yeah, you want to test drive? I'm like, yes, I do. And so I test drive it. It feels like nothing I've ever driven before, because if you remember, I never drove an EV.
Which is a failure on my part, admittedly.
But I'm glad the first EV I drive is this one, the one I ended up buying. I got in there and, it's like, so, I was like, I'm questioning what's wrong with it, so So I jump on the phone with Zach, and he literally jumps in his clothes on a Saturday morning, drives over there, the EV expert.
I will not do that for everybody. Let me just point that out. Ron is a good friend of mine.
So he tells me there's nothing wrong with it. If you don't get it, I know of like 16 other people that will probably buy it today.
Yeah, so I asked car lots because they had said this was sitting on their lot for a couple months.
Yeah.
And that was so bizarre to me. I asked them, why has it been sitting here? And their response was they thought it was priced a little high. And admittedly, it was maybe a couple $1,000s higher than other, because this is an SE, so it's not the SEL. It doesn't have the roof or a lot of the premium features like the one thing that I love about the Ioniq 5 on the upper trim levels is you get the wall outlet. Basically you can plug in electrical appliances through an outlet that's underneath the rear seat. So this doesn't have that. So it was a little pricey, and I'm going, okay, I probably wouldn't recommend it for normal people, but you drive a lot. How much money were you spending on gas for your Ford Edge?
So literally, I was thinking about, I was at a restaurant with my girlfriend yesterday, and this lady says, yes, I'm at quarter tank. It's probably gonna be about $60 to fill up my car, whatever car she was. She was walking away, so I didn't hear the rest of the conversation this lady had as she was walking past us. And I was like, that's literally at the peak of the gas prices. That's how much a quarter tank used to cost me in the Ford Edge.
Wow.
And I used to get 22 miles to the gallon out of the Ford Edge. It was a V6.
Okay.
2017 Ford Edge. But still, that's a mini SUV.
Yeah.
Spacious mini SUV. I'm sorry, mid-size SUV. Mid-size SUV. Very nice SUV. It had a lot of fixins, a lot of things I got hooked on because, you know, I went from a 06 Camry to a 2017 Ford Edge. And I'm like, wow.
Right.
That was a middle trim. I forget what they call those middle trims. And then, of course, the ride, the suspension, the largest wheelbase ratio on this car, the 2022 Ioniq 5, largest wheelbase ratio in Hyundai's lineup. And this is the first Hyundai from the ground up built as an EV, because they did the EV Kona, the EV version of the Ioniq, you know, before this. But it was a gasoline car that they just swapped out the
super efficient
drivetrain.
Like right now, let's see, we've been going, that says 17 minutes, but we started at 9, so 14 minutes. We've gone 13.4 miles. We're averaging 3.2 miles per kilowatt hour.
That's my phone, I guess.
Which,
I can't find yours.
Mine's in my lap.
Oh. Well, I'm not going to reach into your lap.
No. I appreciate the setting of boundaries. And then just hit video.
You're in the middle of saying something about...
so obviously our estimated range is dropping, you know, down to below 300 at this point, and it's going to continue to drop because 315 was never going to happen. I did set the cruise control to 69 because when I checked, when it was set at 70, we were actually doing a 71, and there's some stuff here, so I gotta slow down a little bit, and I'm gonna speed back up to compensate.
The auto.
Oh, look, get that on camera.
Holy cow.
Yeah, that's no bueno. Tractor trailer.
Oh, on its side.
Anyway.
Anyway.
So I had to get over for that. So set at 69, and let me go 71 a little bit to compensate for slowing down. That'll be good. So set at 69, the GPS showed that we were actually going 70. There we go. Now something else I noticed, this has automatic lane keeping assist. So the advanced driver assistance systems, or ADAS. This, in addition to, of course, the, oh my gosh, my brain just stopped. Not laser-sighted cruise control. Adaptive cruise control, there we go. It also has lane keeping assist, so you can take your hand off the wheel for a little bit before it warns you. I've tested a bunch of different ADAS systems of different manufacturers. This is holding the center place in the lane really well. It's not going from one side to the other like a ping pong ball. And something else I noticed, in my Model 3, when I have the cruise control set, if I'm in the far right lane and an on-ramp comes up and the lane is extra wide where it's merging, the Tesla will want to center in that extra wide lane.
No, this one won't.
It's annoying because the car will move over and then it'll move back, and it's confusing to people behind you, but also just a pain in the butt. This car doesn't do that.
Yes, it does not.
This will hold this part of the lane even if the lane is extra wide because of that merging area.
Yeah.
And that's something that I just noticed. I'm like, okay, I like that. That's really nice.
Yeah. When I do road trips with this, I call it just chill. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly the way I feel right now. That is a perfect word. I'm just like,
yeah.
My feet aren't doing anything. They're resting.
Yeah.
The seat is really comfortable.
Yeah.
Like this, we're going to be in this car for the next 3 hours-ish, three and a half.
Yeah.
Comfort at that point is very important. And normally, when I'm going on any kind of longer distance trip, I'm stopping.
Yeah.
Every hour and a half.
Yeah.
Roughly. Like I'm going to be sipping on this water because
Me too.
I want to make it to the end for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Most people, I think, especially as you get older, are going to stop more often. You're not going to run 3 to 3.5 hours at 70 miles an hour constant all the time.
Yeah.
The one reason why I like this speed for a range test is because it's almost a perfect middle ground. You know, there are people that are going to be going faster, especially like the speed limit's 70. Everybody's passing us.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but there are also people that live in places where the speed limit isn't 70.
Yeah.
So 70 miles an hour is a good kind of middle ground for seeing how efficient a vehicle actually is in the real world on the highway.
Yeah.
Now, the route that we've chosen is mostly flat.
Yeah.
It's Central Virginia. We don't have mountains that we're going through. There are some hills, and actually we're going to be going over a bridge that I guess could be considered a significant hill. So we have to take that into consideration. No test is going to be perfect unless it's you're putting the car on a dyno inside of a building. You know, out in the real world, you cannot control all of the environment around you. So I like doing this because of that. Yeah. You know, your EPA number, one, they don't go up to 70 miles an hour in the highway portion of the EPA test. I believe it's still at 55.
Yeah.
And if I'm wrong on that, please somebody write in the show notes, the comment section, that I'm wrong, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But I believe the highway portion is 55 miles an hour. Well, from an aerodynamic perspective, the difference of energy that you have to use when going 70 miles an hour compared to 55 is quite significant. So it does make a big difference.
Yeah.
So we're at 90% now, if you want to get that on there. Yeah. We've gone 24.7 miles. We've averaged 3.1 miles per kilowatt hour. Every 10% or so, I want to check in just to see how we're doing.
Let's go back around.
And yeah, you can show whatever we want on that.
Yeah, so basically this, I mean, you got several different ways you can watch your monitoring. What I do is I'm already on infotainment, and a lot of times I'm on this screen. Yeah.
See, I liked the other screen that we had.
You like that one better because it shows you everything live?
Yeah. I like seeing actual, like, energy consumption in the moment. That's something that a lot of EVs don't actually have.
Really?
They will show you what your average is based on a trip.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but they don't show you in such a clear and concise way.
Yeah.
Exactly what you're using. This is like instant miles per gallon.
Yep.
Just of course, it's not gallons.
Look and see that climate is at 0 because really they're not really counting the ventilation fan. That's
right.
Probably,
because it's using very, very little.
Yeah.
You've had this car now 20,000 miles.
Yeah.
Have you done anything maintenance-wise?
Oh, the tire pressure, it was, they were responsible for it. Hyundai did it under warranty. The tire pressure monitoring system, they said this is rare. And for all 4 of them to be bad, we can't explain that. Mm-hmm. They were actually ordered the actual sensor parts, and it was fine.
Cool.
Yeah. So now, they said, we don't know if your previous driver did something that caused that to happen. Right. We've never seen it before. Obviously, we replaced it and it works. So we're great. But, and I said, well, was that a mechanical? He says, no, that's RF.
Right.
That's a transmission.
Yep.
That's a wireless transmission technology. So something happened, but for all 4 to be out is interesting.
That was,
yeah.
But
that was it.
I would say that.
Yeah.
So, And you didn't put out any money because that was covered under warranty.
Yeah, warranty. I mean, I rotated tires once, you know. So
you haven't even put new tires on.
Yeah,
we're still on factory rubber.
Yeah.
Which
19-inch wheels, and that also the 19 also contributes to the ride and everything. Sure. 19-inch wheels.
All right, we are at 80%. We've gone 50.2 miles, averaging 3.1 miles per kilowatt hour, and we've gone 46 minutes because we left right at 9. Ron hasn't changed his clock to daylight savings time.
I can do that while we're here.
I'm actually gonna turn around now because of the traffic.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to be going the speed limit in the left lane and the right lane's going slower.
Yeah.
So we're turning around, it's 78%, which means on the flip side, you know, when we're back up in Richmond, I'm gonna go a little bit further past the exit where the charger, you know, that we would take.
I want to use your brake. Oh yeah, I think it does kind of slow it down a bit. I'm not used to being a passenger seat, that's why.
Right. So we have now gone 25% of the way. We have 75% battery left. 76 degrees outside, 62.9 miles traveled, 3.1 miles per kilowatt hour. So the efficiency has basically been the same. And it's been 58 minutes. So just under an hour to go 25%, which means this is going to take us 4 hours instead of the 3 that I was expecting. And also, assuming that things stay fairly consistent, if we multiply our 63 miles by 4, that's 252 miles, right?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Wow, yeah.
So your estimate of 256, the EPA range estimate, might be, and honestly, if this car at 70 miles an hour hits the EPA estimate, I will be impressed. And because EPA estimate is a combination of city and highway driving.
Yeah.
And like I was mentioning before, they don't do 70 miles an hour. So, okay, all right.
Interesting.
Which 64 miles times 3, 192 miles. This says we have 231 left. I still think that's optimistic. Because if we just go based on what we've done so far, it would be 192 more miles. Which would be, oh wow, the math is perfect on that. 192 plus 64 is 256.
Oh my gosh, the EPA might be exactly nails on it.
See, as a self-proclaimed nerd, I geek out over data and numbers, and I could get lost in just doing the math. That's a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because, especially for these 70-mile-an-hour range tests, I can do the math and figure out when we're gonna hit 0. So it makes it super easy because we could be down to 1% and I'm going, no, we're fine, we got this. Like, there's not really a question about it.
I wonder.
Yeah. I mean, but then there's also the curiosity, like, how will it end up? Like, I don't know. Before I did the range test on the Polestar 2, I actually watched videos from Tom Malogny and Kyle Connor, because they had both done the range test with that car.
Yeah.
To see how it would end up, and the whole way I was kind of comparing to the results that they got to results that I was getting.
Yes.
I didn't look at any videos for the Ioniq 5 before doing this.
And I, as much as I do, I have not looked at any range tests for Ioniq 5.
So
this is gonna be a nice pure one.
I don't know.
Pure informational.
Yeah, like my reaction is genuine. Hands free. Ah, look, Mom, no hands. Cars. I love cars. I do. And technology. Like, why?
Oh
and I still haven't quite understand. Like, I don't get it. Why do I get excited about the car maintaining the lane for me?
When you have a car that already does it too.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's like, why do I get excited about that? I understand why I get excited about going on the racetrack.
Yeah. Because
G-forces, adrenaline, speed, that's fun.
Yeah.
A 70-mile-an-hour range test for 4 freaking hours shouldn't be fun.
Yeah.
All right, so we are down to 70%. The next 10%, 76.1 miles traveled, 3.1 miles per kilowatt hour energy consumption still. So that hasn't changed for a while.
Yeah.
I believe that is going to be our efficiency number. So what we can do then is multiply the size of the battery pack, and we'll use 75 kilowatt hours until we still haven't looked that up, what the usable is.
Yeah.
But if we multiply 75 by 3, that gives us 225 miles.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah.
unless there's more battery than I'm aware of, or once this hits 0, there's a buffer, which we should probably look up as well. I think that's going to be the accurate number. 225, maybe 230.
So we know somewhere between, chances are somewhere between our estimates.
Well, my original estimate
Yeah.
was 230 to 240.
Okay.
See, I get excited about the math.
It's almost like a Christmas thing. You want to see what happens at the end.
I do. I want to unwrap the present, and we have to wait another 3 hours.
Also, we're going to go below 9%, so I'm going to see a whole bunch of features I heard that kick in.
Oh yeah, it'll
Like
go into
turtle,
limp mode and
yeah. It actually has a little turtle, I heard.
Oh really?
Yeah, it comes up.
Fun.
Normal mode.
So here's a question for you. I have heard that with the Ioniq 5, in eco mode,
Yeah.
it will deactivate the front motor to make the vehicle more efficient.
Look at this. Watch this. You are absolutely correct, sir.
Yeah.
That's a live look, by the way.
To get better efficiency, it deactivates the front motor. It is not currently being used at all. And so those wheels are just spinning freely. We are completely rear-wheel drive right now, even though it's an all-wheel drive vehicle. We're only using the rear motor because that's all we need. In performance mode, it is on all the time. And I think in normal mode, and Ron, correct me if I'm wrong,
We can do that right
it will have it sometimes. Yeah, so it's still not using that. Now, if we put it to sport mode, and I don't want to mess around with this too much, it is going to activate the front motor.
You think so?
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was active all the time with that. Okay, well, I'm happy to be wrong.
Yeah.
We'll leave it in eco, though. And just as a reminder, this far through the video, if you're still watching, I set the cruise control to 69 because actual speed, GPS indicated, is 70. So as you're seeing that, just keep that in mind. We are actually doing 70 miles an hour over bumps. We're gonna have
This big video.
a total of 4 hours
Yes.
of recording.
Yes.
It's gonna take me at least twice as long to go through all this stuff because I gotta watch it to remember what was talked about.
True, because we were talking. I was gonna cut us off in an hour and talk about other stuff that we didn't want to talk about, but we kept on going.
I know.
So we're at an hour and a half. So mine's just like, hey, marker here. We're gonna actually stop talking about the car and range test and stuff until you turn on your phone again.
So I'm gonna have to tell people.
Yeah.
If they want to watch, because I'm going to make this an hour-long video.
Yeah, it needs to be an hour.
I'm going to do the chapter markers, so if people only want to watch this to get the range test part of it, that they don't watch a bunch of stuff they don't want to.
Yeah. But if this is like the beginning of Buddy Road Trip, so you know, if they start to fall in love with Ron and Zach. Oh, was it the Buddy Cop thing?
Hell yeah, Ron is a co-host.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, 60%. It is not going down as quickly as I originally thought, and at this point, want. Because we're not even halfway through. It has been an hour and 33 minutes. We've driven 103.2 miles, averaging 3.2 miles per kilowatt hour. And traffic is picking up. There's definitely a lot more cars around us, but, and this is the reason I chose this road, we got 4 lanes. I'm going faster than the RV, so that's why I'm in the lane that I'm in. Once I pass them, I'll get back over. But even though the traffic is picking up, it should not be interfering with the results of what we're actually doing. So, much better than what I did with the Polestar on I-95 going up to Fredericksburg and back. That I got lucky. So today, it's a little bit more of a planned route. Well, that was planned too. I guess a little bit more of a planned, I don't know, whatever.
I'm going to show you. We won't do it. No, oh, I guess we will do it live.
Oh yeah, man.
All right.
Look, as much as I hate, like I want to record everything. So we've got a couple different things that we can do on this screen, and Android Auto, the way it works is that this is all apps on your phone that are being accessed through the car.
Yes. So, like classic stuff, you know, it has its own weather update, aside from the, you know, the Ioniq has its own weather update.
Yeah.
My 5G signal, my battery power left to go.
So that's your phone data, not the car.
Yep, correct. And then I got my Spotify maps is usually one of my most common thing, but of course, you know, you can go and look up Electrify America app.
Which is always nice.
Nearby and all stuff. You know, good stuff to have. Let's see. Calendar, charge point, my Audible on Amazon if I wanted to. I don't know what Game Snacks is, but interesting. News, everything, podcasts through this would be the icon for Google Podcasts.
Right. Okay.
Facebook Messenger comes through, and it also comes through as text messages or whichever.
So it actually gives you 2 ways to listen to the EV Resource podcast.
Yes.
Spotify or Google Podcasts, which is great.
Really turned that on. I don't know what I don't know I did that. So, and Discord is now a choice. I didn't know that Discord was not there before.
Discord.
Yes. That's pretty awesome.
Most of these you would not use while driving.
Yes. And then YouTube, makeup, YouTube Music, of course, they want to have their product on because it's a Google product.
Right, of course.
Then if you want to go back to the original menu, just go back this way.
Oh, hey, look at that. So, we turned on the air conditioning. I know it's November 6th, but with the sun beating down through the window over here on me, I'm just getting a little sticky.
Just showing us 81.
So, yeah, we turned the AC on, 72 degrees. Oh, you can't see that, there we go, 72. Yep. The lowest fan setting, and it's not using a whole lot of energy at all. So, I mean, really the only reason I'm mentioning it is because I want to be fully transparent. And so we went 48%, like almost halfway, and didn't use the AC at all until now. Good, now we're at 50%, 127.1 miles, 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour. So if we just doubled that, that is 254 miles of range total.
Yeah.
If we divide 254 by 3.3, which if you pull out your calculator, because I'm not doing that in my head. That one I'm not going to do in my head.
What is the question?
254 divided by 3.3.
Divided by 3.3. 76.96.
So that would mean your battery pack would be roughly a 77 kilowatt hour usable pack.
But it's a 77 point something total capacity battery.
So it's interesting how it's
using very
calculating
little.
this.
Yeah.
So
basically 77.
Yeah. And we still haven't looked that up. We need to do that now.
Oh, the actual specs?
Yeah. I had started to look it up and then we got distracted.
77.4.
Okay, so it's a 77.4 kilowatt hour pack.
And
And we're gonna use
76.9.
76.9, whatever, yeah. All right, checking in at another 10% down. We're to 40%. I had to speed up a little bit because I slowed down too much, so I was just compensating. But now we're good. We have gone 154.4 miles and averaging 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour, which has been at that point since, what, like 50-something%? So, I mean, for the last little bit, we've been more efficient. We have turned on the AC, but it's not using hardly any energy at all. And I'll let Ron pull that
that's
up.
what the green means if we didn't have the AC on.
Oh,
and that's
so 4 miles.
Yeah, 4 mile difference.
Okay, I'm not worried about that.
Right.
And honestly, for a real world test, people are gonna have the AC on.
It is heat, yeah.
Yeah, like
look
it's...
Look at the temperature gauge over there.
What?
81 F down at the bottom next to Echo.
Oh, down there. Here, I can zoom in. 81 degrees. 81 degrees outside. Yeah. So we're doing great, or the car is doing great. Don't feel like we are doing anything other than just chatting. But car's doing great. Not really any major changes. So I think we'll still. I'm still gonna put my number at 240 at this point. I think we'll still be around that.
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah.
30%. Checking in with you all. We've traveled 175.8 miles, still averaging 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour. What's interesting, the AC usage is only a 2 mile difference. Well, it just showed 2. Now it's 3. Whatever. It's not 4 anymore. It was a 4 mile difference. Now it's less. We've been going for 2 hours, 37 minutes. And the temperature outside is showing 82 degrees now, which is a lot hotter than I thought it was going to get today. I thought it was going to top out in the 70s.
November 6th.
November 6th, 2022. We don't call it global warming anymore, but is this just weather? Or is this climate change?
Or is it just Virginia?
Or is it just Virginia?
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, the weather changes week to week. Next week we'll probably get snow. It's crazy. But generally so far, I mean, we're almost 3/4 of the way through. This is the longest that I've ever been sitting in this seat in an Ioniq 5, or any Ioniq 5, any seat that is. I'm still comfortable. My legs aren't feeling restless. Then again, I really haven't used my feet for anything. I mean, the cruise control's been set. My elbow's a little tired from resting on the harder plastic over here on the door frame. I could probably relax my arm and just let it sit on this. Honestly, I find that to be a little low.
Yeah.
Like if it was halfway between these, I would like that better. This is okay.
Yeah.
But I've been using this, my left hand.
Oh, because you're doing a resting thing.
Yeah, so if I were down here, I don't know, just personal preference. So
that'll bring me to my next engineering feature, which we have to switch cameras for.
Okay. There we go. Do it. Yeah, I would probably put like a soft pad up here for your elbow.
Resting his arm there.
I'm just complaining.
Yeah. No, it's good, it's good, it's good. Did you notice something about that steering wheel, Zach?
You mean right here?
No.
Or down here?
Look at the shape of the bottom of the steering wheel.
Yeah, it's flat. That makes it easier to get in and out.
Yeah, well, there's also another added feature.
Is it a racing steering wheel?
Are you left-handed or right-handed?
Right-handed.
Okay, I'm right-handed too.
Okay. What are we getting at here?
Put your left hand down bottom and control it like that. Does that feel weird?
Horribly weird. Yes, it does. Because I'm typically a 9 and 3 guy, okay. or with one hand resting it like this.
Try that way.
This is weird. Like honestly, I'm touching the steering wheel, but I don't feel like I have any control.
Really?
At all.
Oh, because it's not. Okay, so what happens is a lot of Ioniq drivers found that was incredibly comfortable.
It feels like I'm holding onto the reins of a horse or something.
So what I do is I kind of just let my hand just lay, not grip,
like
just
that?
lay. Well, no, the palm part, yeah, just lay like that. Whichever's comfortable. Just lay and just comfortably chilling like that.
Yeah, that's not for me.
Really? Yeah. That's what I do, by the way. My range anxiety kicked in a little bit because my anxiety is kind of low. So
range anxiety. See, after a trip like this, you're not going to have range anxiety.
I don't have range anxiety with this car.
Range anxiety, the more experience you have with a singular vehicle, becomes range awareness.
Yes.
Come on, car.
It's trying to get the cruise control back on.
It's thinking too much.
Yeah, it is thinking about it. There you go. It's blinking, so it's gonna be fine. Oh, it's not reading something, right?
Is it because I had the accelerator pressed?
Yeah, you can't press the accelerator, you just gotta let it go.
All right, car, you do it.
Yeah.
I'll back off. See, for a road trip or a 4-hour long, it's like running track. What's the point of running if you're gonna just end up in circles?
Yeah.
So for a 4-hour range test like this, I appreciate those features.
Yeah.
But outside, I'm a driver, damn it. I want to drive.
This is a cruiser.
So it's like, okay, you do it. You want to like complain about what, I was doing? Fine, you do it. Yeah. We missed 20%.
Oh, shoot.
We're at 19%. Oops, that's me.
Yeah.
Try again. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy yakking. 19%, so close enough to 20 left. 199 miles.
0.7, practically 200.
Yeah, I'm gonna just hold it for the next 2 tenths, and we'll see it hit 200 miles. Still averaging 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour.
Yeah.
We are 2 minutes shy of 3 hours in.
Yeah.
So we are not gonna make it to 4 hours, thankfully. One car that I don't think I'll ever do a range test on is the Lucid Air, because it's like 500 miles at 70 mile an hour or something like that. And I'm like, no, I'm just not doing that. But I have been impressed with the Ioniq 5. I think its efficiency at 70 miles an hour is good enough.
We'll put it this way.
It's not great, but it's not horrible either.
Did you say 220 earlier?
220 miles?
Yeah. Well, it better be more than 220, because look how many more miles we got to get to go to.
Yeah, so we got 37 miles to go to get back to the charger. We have a range of 45 miles, so I'm gonna take like a smaller offshoot of the loop as we get closer, so that we can get there as low as possible.
Yeah. But it better be better than 220 at this point now.
So 246 if we follow the 45 mile or 44 now. Yeah. So 245 and 201.
Yeah.
I trust the car, really. And that is something that this is the first time I've ever gone in an Ioniq 5 where I was paying attention to range and the estimates. And it's very confidence inspiring.
Yes.
Like I trust it completely. Like I do not doubt that we can go another 44 miles. Yes, I could do the math. We've used 82% of the battery. We know that it's 77 kilowatt hour usable. We could do the math to figure out how much energy we've used, use the calculation of the efficiency to figure out how much further we could go. I don't really feel like it right now, because honestly, after 3 hours, my brain is just tired of thinking about that. So no more thinking, and we're gonna trust the car. And look, if we end up on the side of the road, Ron's strong. Look at these muscles. Look at these muscles. He can push. We'll put it in neutral. He'll push it. I mean, we might get like a mile. You can push a car for a mile uphill. No big deal. It's not like it's heavy. And honestly, this is also assuming 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour.
Yeah.
At the end, if it shows we have more miles to get there than we have range, then we'll slow down.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You go 40 miles an hour, and now you're going to make it.
Yeah, you're right.
So
you're right.
it's not that big of an issue. Yeah. So this is the first indication that anything's there. I'm also noticing, I didn't notice it before, has that auto hold been illuminated?
No. It's been there in the off position.
Okay, but the battery symbol? That's new.
That's new, yes.
Okay. And yes, we are at 10%. We've gone 220 miles, still averaging 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour. We've been going for 3 hours and 16 minutes. So other than the car indicating, hey, you might want to go charge somewhere, it's not turtled, you know, it hasn't gone into any mode where it's going less.
Yeah.
We're still maintaining speed without any issue at all.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what else pops up as we go along.
We have now passed 220.
Look at that. 221 miles. 24, 23. Why does it always change right when I say it? 23 miles left. We've got 16 miles if we just head directly to the charger, which we're not. We are going to
deviate a little bit.
Yes, good word. Yes. Okay, let's keep going.
13 miles, and we got 19 miles left.
Okay, so the difference is 6, which means half of that we can go 3 miles further, which Staples Mill. We're gonna pull a UE at Staples Mill.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Yep. Okay. No, this is gonna be great. We are gonna pull in with 0. We can do it.
Yeah, because it can slow down. We're gonna have to slow down to make it. Yeah.
We'll see. Now is where it gets fun.
Yeah.
Will we run out? Stay tuned for the next episode of Charge immediately, power limited.
Oh, here we go. New.
And now, low EV battery warning. Please visit a nearby charging station.
Oh boy, we are pushing it.
But that's it. That's all it's like. It's still going strong.
Yep. We're gonna push it to the end. I believe we're gonna get to like 1 or 2% though. I do believe that. We are now rounding the last 13 miles.
I'm gonna push this to 0.
Even we gotta go around the Walmart parking lot a few times.
Okay, no, I'm not gonna do that.
All right, so
4%.
4%.
11 miles. I'm enjoying this way too much, I think. If there is such a thing of enjoying it too much.
4%. I think my range anxiety is starting to kick in a little bit.
And I'm like, if anything, I don't know if overconfident is the right word, but like I trust the car.
Yeah.
If it says I've got 10 miles left at the efficiency that we've been doing, then I know I have 10 miles left because I can go slower.
So 10 miles. We're now at a 10 mile.
Don't go slower.
10 mile left.
Don't do it. Sorry. Well, that guy slowed down a little bit, and I didn't like that.
All right. So once we get past the 95, let's see what it says. Because understand, we got to go and come back to 95.
Right. Yeah. We want this range number to be twice.
Yeah.
Well, not quite actually, because just not less than this.
Yes, exactly. Was it though? Oh shoot, we're definitely in trouble then.
I did that with the Polestar.
Yeah.
And so I had to slow down. I slowed down to 50 miles an hour in a 65.
Yeah.
Right lane, of course.
Yeah.
But because like I needed to make sure I would arrive, and I think I got there at 0%.
Gotcha.
But yeah, here we're gonna find out what the car thinks. Talk to us, car. Share with us your wisdom.
Alright, so we're now going to cross over the point that the suggested route.
3% left.
There we go.
6.8 miles,
Perfect.
7 miles.
Perfect, that's what
that
we'll do.
Could not have been better.
We're going to do Woodman. I thought Woodman would be perfect.
Alright.
Woodman would be perfect, and so it is. So we're going to get there with 0.2? 0.3?
Oh, and now it says 0.5. So
0.5.
Under a mile.
Under a mile.
At that
mile,
point,
yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Like, we can add whatever the difference is to our final tally if it really it makes any difference
We're at
at all.
3%. My comfort factor is gonna.
Look, now it's almost a mile.
Mile difference? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because
it isn't.
Yeah, because it's doing the whole thing that we gotta go and come back.
Right.
Yeah. Your acceleration may be decreased too, by the way. They said that too.
Oh, I fully expect that.
Your acceleration is.
I'm surprised, honestly, even at 2% battery, that it's maintaining 69, 70 miles an hour.
That was the amount to go.
Like, that is impressive to me. That it from a driving perspective, there has been no change, even all the way down to 2%.
Yes.
The car is driving the same as it has this entire time.
Yeah. We're still maintaining the speed.
Now, I'm gonna have to brake for the off-ramp here to loop back around. So we'll see
that regeneration do a little bit of it.
Hell yeah, but I mean, in terms of acceleration, we'll see, is it gonna,
This is it right here.
you know, be able to do what I ask of it? Which I haven't been accelerating hard, so I'm sure it'll be fine.
My real range anxiety is starting to kick in now at 2%.
We're fine.
But I do see that that thing says 4.6 miles and we have 5-mile range.
Yeah, easy. Provided I don't miss the exit.
Do not miss the exit. We do not want to miss the exit.
Then it would be a true range test, and we would need to call AAA.
Yes.
Or use that seatbelt trick to push the car. Or I guess at that point it's more of pulling the car.
238. So we are beyond 235.
Yeah, so my estimate was low.
240. High chances now at this point. 240 is definitely within range.
Oh, easily. That's 1.1 miles, and we've got 4 miles in range.
Yeah.
We're not going to hit 245.
Yeah, that's gone.
Can get back up to 70. It still hasn't reduced energy.
Yeah.
Like, I can still do everything.
Oh, we're at 1% now. We are at the 1% mark.
I wonder if it'll show us 0.
3.5 and 3.
Hey, look at that.
Oh, 2.
2 miles.
Uh-oh.
All right, so I'm gonna go slower.
Yeah. We're gonna turn off the AC.
Turn that off. I'll go slower.
Yeah.
That's interesting that it changed
dramatically. Now we're below.
We had a mile or a half a mile buffer. Huh.
Uh-oh.
So now is where I'm going.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go slow now.
Yeah. And we gotta get off the exits anyway.
Yeah.
I think the regen drive is gonna help out a lot. Oh, you know what? You had to accelerate off the exit. You lost a lot of power coming off the exit.
That's true.
So we're gonna get a little bit more power on the regen.
All right. So I'm gonna go 60.
So at this point, we're now losing to 70 mile per hour.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, 240.3 miles.
Yeah.
So at 70, for the most part.
Not this one.
No, we're 95.
Yeah.
You know, we did 240 miles.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
So now I backed off to 60. This is showing 2.3 miles to go with 2 miles of range. 2.2 miles with 2 miles of range.
Yeah.
So
I would go easy on acceleration.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Coming off this exit.
Well, honestly, I don't know that I'm gonna go faster than this
50.
on the other side. Well, I mean, now it's 2 and 2.
Yeah.
So I feel good about it.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Only when you slow down, though.
All right. Looks like we might make it.
All right. I'm gonna set the speed to 55.
Yeah.
Oh. If I can figure out how to control it. There we go.
Yep. Now we're at 55.
Oh yeah, we're
70s,
good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bump it back up to 60. We're fine.
You sure about that?
Positive.
Oh, 1 mile, 1 mile.
Not positive.
Not positive. Let's slow that down a little bit more. Yeah, let's slow that down a little more. We might go to that one pedal operation. You want to do that?
Nah. That's not going to do anything for... Oh, smart cruise control canceled.
One pedal operation. Let's do one pedal. It
said 0.
Let's do one pedal.
Power limited.
Yes, turtle's coming on.
All right. So
turtle's coming on.
Yeah.
Let's go to one pedal operation.
Well, I mean, that's just for braking.
Yeah.
That doesn't affect what we're doing right now at all.
We still have one more stoplight to go.
We're fine.
Sure?
Yes.
Okay. Power limited, turtle's on.
Yeah, turtle.
Turtle icon is on in several places.
So that's interesting. It took off the cruise control.
Yeah.
Probably
because it knows it's gonna.
Well, not from an energy usage standpoint, but because if you somehow weren't paying attention.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If you somehow missed the alarm, if you will, at 10% and 5%, the alert. There we go. It doesn't want you to just keep going.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're here. It's fine. 0%. Oh, and the light turned green. We don't even have to stop.
Perfect.
If these guys will go.
Well, that guy's making it worse.
Yeah. Humans. Cool.
We are making it. Oh my gosh.
No problem.
We literally made it.
No problem. Just as designed. Is this where I floor it to see what it can do?
No, I wouldn't do that.
Dude, it's still got a lot of... It's spunky. Even
oh, you still... Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, turtle, and it's still pretty decent. Oops, don't run into the motorcycle.
Yes. Oh, here's where we pause for a little bit. We got nothing.
Yeah.
Are we gonna make it? Are we gonna make it?
Ooh. Refreshed bolt. What was that?
No, that's just the Google Maps.
Oh, okay.
You can take that off now.
Yeah,
we definitely did it.
Ta-da! Here, show everybody.
We're here at the charging station.
And we've got a Bolt i3 and a Lucid Air, the first one I've seen in person. Oh, yeah. Your car's different than mine.
Yes.
Oopsies.
Yeah.
We made it. Of course, I knew.
We did it, 242.
242.8 miles, 0% left, averaged 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour, and we pulled in at 12:38. So 3 hours and 38 minutes that I will never get back. No. It says we have 1 mile of range. So should we call it well, we slowed down. Yeah. We'll 242.8. So we'll call it 243. Yeah. So not a bad result, honestly. I'm happy with that. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the EV Resource YouTube channel. Hit like, leave a comment below. I want to hear what your impressions are and your reactions to this video. And everybody, once again, say hello, Ron.
Hey.
Or I guess at this point, goodbye, Ron.
Bye.
Not a bad test, my friend.